I look at it and I'm like, I'm proud to be potential owner of it. They have a new glass, so he's picking that up, which is very good timing, because otherwise it would take days, and it is winter outside. Yes, that is blood.
There's no, the tide looks fine.
The tide looks fine. I'm not sure what this is going to be because I had to stop making videos. It got too much. Since October, things have nearly literally gone downhill. You know, there's a few videos up, aren't there, of the misery. And then it just kept going. I was spending so much money that it got to a point where I needed to know, is this the dream boat? Is this the boat that I'm going to be living on for the rest of my life? Or is there a better or more suitable boat for me out there? Started just looking casually on boats, because in the beginning I was like, no way, I don't want any other boat, this boat is beautiful. And then I kept finding nice boats and I was like, you know what, things could be better, things doesn't have to be like this. Well, before then even, we fixed her up because you can't sell a broken boat. So we fixed most things, including the engine, which is obviously the biggest thing. So darling mechanic made her run again, so she is running and I'm currently still living on her. But I found a new boat and I looked at 3 boats in total. The 2 first ones had their upsides and downsides, and then I found this one. Only downside is she's in fucking Cambridgeshire, in Ducking, Cambridgeshire. I'm currently in the middle level, and I must say this is the most nerve-wracking experience I've had in the last 8 months, or I mean 2 years of boat life, I suppose, as well. To be honest, in my life, because I'm so used to everything going wrong now. Because even with this boat, the throttle was broken the day I picked her up, so I had to sit around for 4 days. Luckily, someone could come quite quickly and sort it. I even tried river canal rescue. I'm not sure if that's their intended purpose, because I had it through my insurance this time, and they showed up and they unfortunately couldn't fix it, so because I needed a new throttle. And I was on the Great Ouse. I was on the Great Ouse for a bit, and then I had to do the Denver Sluice and the Lode yesterday with Katrina, which was quite stressful for me, not NDL. Today I'm feeling better, even though as I was going out of the mooring, which was a private mooring, because in the midst of mooring up yesterday it was raining so much, I had to take the canopy down whilst going under the bridge, because I hadn't quite researched. I'd researched so extensively, but I hadn't quite looked at the bridge clearance, thinking surely she's a narrowboat, she's going to fit. But that doesn't mean the canopy will fit, and then chimney. So we had to stop right under the bridge, or sort of just before it, to take off the chimney and the canopy in the pouring rain and the wind, and not good. I couldn't see anything through these glasses because it was just rain. Quite stressful. And then so we ended up mooring on a private mooring because I couldn't quite figure out where the public moorings are. It's new to me, all of this, obviously middle level, countryside. Anyway, as I was shooting off today, obviously this mooring is not used as much because it's private. The owner came out, lovely. She said, do I need anything? Bless. I didn't need anything because I just had a shower, because this has a calorifier to heat the engine is heating the water through in a calorifier. No idea what that was. Also didn't think I would like that because I didn't think, I'm not cruising that much, but obviously now I'm cruising a lot. So I had a great warm shower, the warmest shower I've ever had, I think. Obviously I turned it wasn't the end, like the boiling one. Anyway, I was pushing myself out from this mooring because I got stuck in the mud. So, and then unfortunately, as I was pushing out, I haven't seen a single boat on this middle level, well, yesterday and today, and as I was pushing out, a boat came past. So I was on the wrong side and it was very narrow, and he refused to go more right, or like more to the side, so it was not good. And the problem here is it's all, as you see, like grass, so stopping is not easy, because if you go too far to the side, you will end up with shit in your prod, which I think I might have something, because it's still not propelling as good as it should be. Anyway, this is such an experience. I wasn't sure if I should start this again because it got a bit overwhelming, but it's nice to talk about it and show the family. This is just left Nordelf and on my way to Upwell. Only a 1 hour cruise today because I cannot bear any more problems, and the longer the trip, the more problems is how I've experienced it. I mean, this isn't even the worst bridges. That's still to come. I've measured my boat now. Not sure how accurately, but as good as it gets, to pretty much 190 centimeters. The other bridge I had to actually duck, so that was a bit lower. This one is fine. But we're coming up to one that's 195. Not this one, but a bit later on. See the bottom. So much seaweed. Can you imagine meeting a boat now? I suppose you're supposed to. Beep. Wow. I'm just glad that there was a boat that actually came through to prove that, you know, I'm not here. Wrongly. I just feel like I shouldn't be here. So the history with the middle level, as far as I'm, have read up, it's not made for boats. It's made as a drainage system for the farms around, for the water, and they pump it out in some kind of way. Honestly. If you want to say that, I would not do this with no boating experience. Definitely understand that this is not a canal built for boats. Oh my god. I do hope there's no boats coming. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. That's extra. I think we got a case of something in the plot. And what we do then, sort of where I lose a bit of steering. What we do then, we put her in reverse. And we see if they're coming out. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully that did it. And then we do forward about it. Maybe that helps, who knows? Not much. Oh god, really worse. Hang on. I tried 3 more times. I'm not sure if I got it out. I don't think I did. It worked really well earlier. I'm going into a place where I need a sharp turn, so it would be nice to have steering. Okay, I'm okay. It could be worse, but I'm okay. We'll see. The turn is coming up. I thought this is the lowest bridge, and I am so okay. Oh my gosh, steering isn't good. I stayed behind in Upwell, and I was there with two other boats that were travelling together, and that was very nice. I must say, after that, I'm seeing a lot more boats than I was earlier, but none of them are boating. They're all just moored up, each their own. So now just heading to March Marina. It'll be about 3.5 hours. I don't trust that, it's going to be much more. Into a lock, different lock than I'm used to. There's a guillotine in the front and V-doors, as they're called, in the back, depending on which way you're going from. It's exciting. You know, we all know I have actually never done a lock completely alone. And now I'm going to do a new type of lock completely alone. So the stress level is here, down here. I've entered Nightmare Weed Zone. I mean, you can't even see the bottom because there's so much weeds. I just did a little reverse and it worked for now. We'll see, because it's probably going to be me for a bit. Back and forth, back and forth. That was not so getting to the lock landing was not easy. First mistake was that my rope was at the middle part of the boat, not where I am, which is a really top tip to put your rope close to you if you're soloing, because then you can just jump off with the rope. But because I had to walk down the gunnel to get the rope, I couldn't. My boat was drifting away by the time I was jumping onto the mooring. So I ended up in the bushes, to put it like that, and I could not, as mentioned, like the bushes are full of weeds, and I was using my pole to push me out. I was hitting trees because every time I just couldn't. It was a nightmare. And reversing, obviously, reversing doesn't do exactly what you want it to do, and then I just kept drifting backwards but into the bushes, and I couldn't get out, because the worst case would be me just parallel next to the bush or next to the side or the bank. I was very close to doing that, and then because it was a turn I had a little bit of leeway anyway, and at the end there's a boat coming behind me and I'm like, just stop. And luckily, I mean, it sounded like they'd seen me. They said, we thought you were turning around. So then I did the lock with them. First I did their boat, and then I did my boat, and they left it, as in they're behind me now. There were two closing it up after me, and then two other boats came down. It's Sunday, so it's actually really good that there's people around, because when I was stuck I really didn't know what to do. I mean, they didn't really help me anyway. I mean, they couldn't really help me at that point. I managed this before, but this really young girl on one of the boats said, "Is it just you on your own?" On your own boat? And I said, yeah, I can do it, maybe. Because that's right, girl, it's not looking good, but I can do it. But it will be a lot of problems underway, as per usual with me, as we know. That was not good, being pushed into that was my nightmare. Yeah, that was my nightmare, and I wasn't even expecting that nightmare today. Cruising through March, and I must say it's quite picturesque. It's quite nice. Most people have made like a really nice front garden situation, but the public moorings, the free moorings, the ducks have taken over, like, and it looked like it was falling apart. And then there was a third one that just didn't, nobody was there. It was not very nice. And it looked like there was water there, actually, but it wasn't inviting. And then there was a fourth one that's clearly not used, like, and hazard now, like it's been locked off, but there was one, like, but the whole pontoon or the whole thing had just fallen into the water. So this seems like they're just not taking care of the moorings, which is so unfair because we pay for the license to use these moorings, and you can't stop because otherwise you have to cruise for what, 4 more hours for the next mooring, and you never know, things go wrong. Like with that lock, things go wrong all the time. Obviously they were functional, some of these moorings, but keep it a little bit, like it's gonna, it looked like they were about to fall in as well, you know. No. Cute. Okay, watch me stressfully going into this marina. So bad. Then I'm going to pick up the key in a green box, so you can't miss it. Okay, I made it in. Oh lord. It didn't give me a map where I'm going, so I have to pick up the key in the on the other side there. Anyway, going through. Fun. I have made it. I mean, she is touching. That's not good, is it? I'll see if I can sort that in a way. Anyway, here she is. Ahoy! So just rewatched or I'm editing the video, and at the end obviously it just finishes like that, me leaving the boat in the marina, which I did. I have to pick her up a bit later because I still live, as mentioned, on the other boat, so I go a bit back and forth to try and get it down from Cambridgeshire, which is going to take me a while. But that's why I was inspired to start the videos again. I also really enjoy the chatting and the sharing. I wish I stopped turning off the camera every time things got overwhelming, because there had been some amazing footage there while I was drifting off in, you know, into the weeds. That would have been great to watch. But yeah, anyway, so that's what's happened. So still have, well, I'm a skipsreder, as we call it in Norwegian, which is like a fleet owner, which wasn't my intention, and I really hope to have sold my boat before getting a new boat, because now I'm in a lot of debt. I'm still really, like, the nightmare isn't over because I still haven't sold it. I'm still traveling down, the stress, you know, so it's just a lot of things to still be like hear about, which means I can't fully settle and be like, oh my god, I've got a new boat. You know, I fully can't accept the amazingness of that. There will be more middle level footage coming, and maybe River Nene as well, probably, and then Grand Union down. That's the plan, at least. Hopefully I'll make videos. Not hopefully, who knows? I'll probably make videos, but who knows? Okay, chip ahoy. I don't have chips. No, I don't. Okay, new boat ahoy.